A woman never leaves you overnight. By the time she walks out of your life, she's already been gone for months. She doesn't start with a suitcase, she starts with silence. And if you don't see it, you'll be the last one to know she's leaving. Before she goes, she always does this. 1, she goes quiet long before she walks away. Here's the first thing you need to understand. Women rarely leave suddenly. They leave slowly, not with their feet at first, but with their silence. Before she packs a bag, she packs her feelings. Before she closes the door, she closes her voice. Think about this. In the early days, she couldn't wait to share everything with you. Her stories, her jokes, her silly thoughts. She used to text you about the smallest thing, the annoying coworker, the funny moment in traffic, even the random food craving. That chatter wasn't just noise, it was intimacy. It was her way of saying, you are my person, you get all of me. Now notice the shift. She doesn't talk as much. She gives shorter answers. How was your day? Gets you a flat fine. You ask what's wrong and she says nothing. But that nothing isn't nothing. That nothing is everything. Silence is how women leave without a fight. Instead of screaming, she shuts down. Instead of explaining, she withdraws. Why? Because in her mind, she already explained 1,000 times and nothing changed. She's tired of repeating herself, tired of hoping you'll hear what she really needs. I'll give you an example. A man once told me, I don't understand. My wife stopped talking to me. She's cold, but I swear I never saw it coming. But when I asked him, how many times did she tell you she felt ignored? He went quiet. That silence from her wasn't sudden. It was built from months of being unheard. Here's the truth. When she goes quiet, she's not always gone yet. But she's preparing. That silence is her practicing life without you. It's her way of living beside you, but no longer with you. And most men mistake it for peace. They think, at least she's not nagging me anymore. But that's the biggest mistake. Nagging means she still cares. Silence means she's finished caring. So if you notice the laughter fading, the long talks shrinking, the warmth turning into small nods and half smiles, don't tell yourself she's just tired. That's the first step before she leaves. 2, she starts building a life that doesn't need you. The second sign is subtle but deadly. Before she leaves, she starts creating routines, habits, and escapes that don't involve you at all. It could be something small, like spending more time with friends or family, or maybe she dives into work, hobbies, or fitness. On the surface, it looks innocent. You might even feel relieved, thinking, she's busy, she's independent, this is good. But watch closely. She's not just busy. She's slowly cutting the emotional rope that ties her to you. See, women don't usually leave without a cushion. They build a world where they no longer depend on you, emotionally, practically, or financially. Once that world feels strong enough, she's ready to walk. Imagine this. You used to spend weekends together. Now she's suddenly busy. She's at yoga, at brunch, at late work meetings. But notice the pattern. She's not inviting you along. She's not saying, come with me. She's carving out a life where your presence doesn't fit. I remember a guy telling me, she was still in the house, but I felt like a visitor. She had her own schedule, her own people, her own plans. I wasn't part of it anymore. That's not distance, that's preparation. And here's the hardest part. Sometimes she does it quietly with no argument. She doesn't announce it. She just starts living like you're already out of the picture. By the time you realize, her independence has turned into separation. If you see her slowly removing you from her day-to-day, less asking for advice, less checking in, less sharing her wins or worries, don't ignore it. She's not being cold for no reason. She's building a life that doesn't need you, so she can leave it easier when the time comes. 3, she mentally replaces you before she physically leaves you. Here's the most painful truth of all. Before a woman leaves, she often replaces you in her heart, sometimes with another man, sometimes with friends, sometimes just with her own new identity. But the replacement happens long before the goodbye. And that's why so many men are shocked. You see her move on so fast, you wonder, did she ever love me? The answer is yes, she did. But she mourned the relationship while still with you. By the time she walks out the door, her grieving is already finished. That's why she can leave while you're still begging her to stay. This is what most men don't get. Women rarely step out impulsively. They detach step by step, first in silence, then in routines, then in affection, and finally in their heart. They may still say, "I love you," but it's just habit. The emotion behind it is already redirected somewhere else. Picture this. You come home and she's polite, maybe even kind, but her eyes don't light up anymore. She doesn't reach for your hand first. She's present but not connected. That's not mood swings. That's her already living a different emotional life. Some men discover messages. Others just notice her glow when she talks to someone else. But whether or not another man is there, the result is the same. She mentally left long before she physically walked out. And this is the coldest part. When you finally realize, you'll feel like it happened overnight, but for her, it's been months, maybe years in the making. So remember, if you feel her pulling away, don't assume it's nothing. Don't assume love is enough, because once she mentally replaces you, the goodbye is only a matter of time. So here's the part most men never see coming. Women don't leave all at once. They leave step by step, first with silence, then by building a life without you, and finally by replacing you in their heart long before they walk out of your door. That's why when she finally leaves, it feels sudden to you, but to her, it's already done. She's been gone for months. She just didn't tell you. And this is why so many men are blindsided. They ignore the signs. They tell themselves, she's just stressed, she'll come around. They hold on to her words but miss the change in her actions. By the time they wake up, she's already too far gone. Listen to me. Don't wait until she's silent to start listening. Don't wait until she's distant to start showing up. And never ever ignore the signs just because facing them hurts. You can't force someone to stay who's already left in their heart. But you can protect yourself from being the last to know. Awareness is power. Respect is power. Dignity is power. So if this video opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with another man who needs to hear the truth. And if you want more raw, unfiltered psychology about women, relationships, and love, subscribe right now. Because the truth might hurt, but staying blind will always hurt more.